What's up guys, Petko here. Today we are going to finalize choose your main spreadsheet, which is something we did for a long time. Today is the finale, summarizing everything that has happened since the start of beta until now. Put in a numerical value. Again, if you guys haven't seen our spreadsheet, all the previous videos, you can take a look, see how each spec and class progressed through the rankings. There's a few categories as well. If you guys already know that, you can skip the intro if you don't know that. Single target AoE damage from 1 to 10 score, utility, survivability, playstyle, fun, easy to play, a 1 to 5. We summarize the score, put the 3 filters here, only damage, overall score, and damage, utility, and survivability. And these values are compared against each other, aka showcasing which spec is, the top of the bracket, which is not. This is pretty much a fun project that I did myself, for myself, but people loved it, so I shared it online, and apparently you guys love it, so today should be the final update on YouTube. And keep in mind, disclaimer too, I will be maintaining this throughout the whole season and the whole expansion. If there are any other changes, I will likely update it. If they are minor, immediately on the list. If they are major, I will make another YouTube video about it. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last update. Starting from the bottom, Fire Mage. Fire Mage did not receive any changes for the past 3 weeks. They've only been getting nerfs and nerfs and nerfs. They are still the bottom DPS as of now speaking. This is the first time historically in Mythic Plus that we are going to see Fire Mage on the bottom of the bracket. It is something that I myself, it's hard to believe, but it's happening. Damage is the worst enemy for Fire Mage, currently sitting at the bottom of the bottom. Utility, defensives, and playstyle / fun are max 5 out of 5. Unfortunately, the damage is the only thing holding them back. Should they get buffed, they'll climb probably a lot higher. Keep in mind, no changes this week on behalf of Fire Mage. Moving forward, BM Hunter. We received no changes this week. BM Hunter historically has never really been good in the first season of Mythic Plus, with a few exceptions. Single target is gonna be your better ally, better than the AoE. AoE is lackluster outside of cooldowns. It's pretty much 0. Which is something that I would love to see them improved in that regard. They got nerfed 2.5 weeks ago. Ever since then, no changes. Durability has been improving steadily from Dragonflight to the War with 10. Undeniably, they've got now a better utility. Like for example, they have a choice between, they can pick up Scatter Shot, intimidation, binding shot, all of this can be picked up together. You don't have to choose anymore. Survivability part is survival of the fittest, available as the 2 charges on MM Hunter, survival and BM, which is huge. Acceleration, aspect of the turtle, for example. All of this combined together gives you a better survivability. Last thing but not least, easy to play, one of the easiest spec in the game. As of now speaking, it continues to be easy. Next in line, Destro Lock. Very, very concerning. Destro Lock started a month ago as a really bad DPS. Then it got buffed to Oblivion. It became the most OP DPS. Then it got nerfed. Plus, there were some tons of bugs that made Destro Lock unplayable. It became bad again. And now those buffs have been resolved. And it's pretty much up to mediocre right now. Damage wise, currently off cooldowns, seems to be on a lower end. During cooldowns, Summon Inferno, for example, large pulse is still fine. Single target is nothing impressive. I would say mid at most. Utility unchanged, defensives unchanged, pretty much. They're always going to be solid there. And last but not least, it's one of the easiest casters to learn. Overall, more changes on behalf of Destro Lock. I would not be surprised if they get some buffs. And Hunter did not get any changes. They've only been getting nerfs since, I think, mid-July. No buffs whatsoever, no compensation buffs. Burst AoE is fantastic here, both sustain and, on demand. Low, mid-level keys, high keys, you're gonna be doing fantastic. Better survivability, better utility as well. Single target, however, damage is an area they need more adjustments. Without cooldowns there, you are lackluster, one of the bottom DPSs in that regard. Should you get more changes there, I am pretty sure this spec will climb much higher. Next in line, Balanced Druid. Balanced Druid got no changes this week. One of the specs I am the most surprised about is the lack of changes on the half of balance. Currently sitting as one of the lowest single targets, not only Mythic Plus, but also in rating. I did it so many times on stream in front of people, and you are doing like 30 to 40% more than a tank on single target. Disaster. Low level keys, you're also going to be struggling quite a bit as mobs like way too quick for your Starfall to ramp up. Pretty much buff on spenders, right? If you want to get Boomie better. However, the higher the key goes, especially in the bigger pools, Boomie is fantastic. Okay? Keep that in mind. The higher the key goes, the longer the mob lives, the bigger the pools out, let's say above 12 keys or 12 keys, etc. Boomie is doing fantastic numbers in AoE only. If they were to get buffed on single target, this is gonna be one of the hidden gems. Survivability is still an issue. Barskin got slightly better, but if you truly want to have something else outside of Barskin, it's gonna be staying bare form and not be able to DPS. Disaster. They need to change that ASAP. Playstyle and fun, for me, one of the most unfun versions of Boomie. I didn't quite like it. I like pulsar gaming, but they removed it. It is what it is. Also, side note, pretty easy to play, has a good utility, Mark of the Wild buffer. It's never gonna be bad in that regard. Also, tons of like utility to help you tank or group the PO. Death Evoker, no changes once again. Death Evoker actually is not as bad as people say it is. I've seen that one over and over again, people saying, oh, Death Evoker is so bad, oh, but Oak is so good. Like, Death Evoker is the definition of mid. Very strong burst, meh sustain, meh single target, good defensives, a good survivability, you know, utility is also pretty good. Yes, most of the people will play augmentation. Yes, you might not see some gameplay, but if you were to be seen in Mythic Plus, you're gonna be doing okay. Not bad, not good, just okay. Which I think is overall a W, you know, as long as you're not bottom, I think you can just take a W on that one. I've tried both Flame Shaper builds, Skill Commander, Flame Shaper, kind of weird, but I feel like it did a little bit better than Skill Commander, at least for AoE, especially with like Master Firestorms back to back. Skill Commander appeared to be a little bit better for like single target power damage, like small size pools. Yeah. Outlaw Rogue received some small buffs this week. They adjusted the mastery by 45% buff, I believe, which gave them a net around 1.5, 1.8% overall damage increase. A very minor one, so ranking is not gonna change. Still the same issue on Outlaw. Lack of uncapped damage. You know, you're pretty much the only meal that it's kinda quote unquote capped right now. Kinda bad. No burst damage, which is an immensely big issue in lower level keys. Mid to high level keys, you'll be able to catch up with the rest of the specs, but on lower level keys, it is disaster. Overall, by no means you're bad. I think you are slightly above average in terms of performance, and I would probably choose you, you know, even better than, for example, Survival Hunter, etc. I would choose Outlaw just because it's just safer, even though Survival could do more damage. You know. Defensive wise, very strong there. Nothing to complain. Mob control is also very strong. So yeah, overall good pickup. Retribution Paladin received no changes. However, we adjusted their rankings a little bit. We decided that the Retribution Paladin deserved 0.5 more on behalf of their AoE, so we improved the AoE a little bit more, which honestly they don't like there at all. This is their pretty much primary strength, AoE damage profile. Short cooldowns every 30 seconds, minor cooldowns every minute, major cooldowns. Very strong defensively, lay on hands, double defensive and immunity. Good utility like Sack, for example, Bop, Devotion, Aura, you know, Freedom, removal of poisons, disease, all of this kind of stuff all together combined in a fantastic melee specs. This is one of my actually desired ults I'm gonna be choosing later this expansion. I'll make a video about that one, talking about Retribution as my one of my main ults. Feel like the only thing that they need right now is just more damage on single target. If they add them a little bit more damage, then I could see them climb higher. For now, I feel like this position is solid. Next in line, Survival Hunter received no changes this week. Unfortunate. Survival Hunter, however, it's solid. Everywhere, single target, AoE, sustain, burst damage, you are solid. Most definitely the kind of like the representation above average performance here. Likely the best Hunter spec currently, Mythic Plus. Just like any other Hunter spec, better defensiveness, better utility. I don't find survival as fun, just because it's melee survival. I enjoyed back in the days range survival. If any of you has played Cataclysm, for me it was one of my favorites. So yeah, I mean I wouldn't really complain about it. Sure, you're better than some specs. You're still gonna do fantastic. So yeah. Sub Rogue received a little buff this week due to their hero talents getting small buffs, but again, very negligible ones to really impact the rankings. Overall, a solid contender for melee specialization, just like its brother's pick. Very good sustained damage. However, Sub has way better burst than Outlaw, which is a huge W. I find Sub Rogue a little bit boring to play, which is for me fun factor is not really there, but everything else is fantastic. Good mob control, very strong durability wise, and it's quite easy to play. Arms Warrior, on the other hand, received very minor hotfixes last night, which were supposed to be net neutral. Those hotfixes, however, turned out to be a very minor nerf to arms. As far as I know, there have been 2 hotfixes that came out. The developers tried to hotfix some of their aura damage or whatever, so they kind of fucked up a little bit. So they diminished their performance just tiny bit of it. But I believe that will get resolved in the following days, as that was not intended. Other than this, nothing really has changed for you. Very strong AoE damage profile. Single target is also pretty good. Defensive wise, it's not really the best, to be honest with you. One of the lower like durable classes as melee, on the lower end a little bit. Utility also pretty bad. One of the worst, if not the worst, utility class in the game currently. Kind of sad about it, but it is what it is. And that's all I could say about Arms Warrior. I think it's gonna be a solid contender overall. Damage is your biggest, I guess, ally. Unholy, no changes this week. Once again, Unholy is one of those picks that you love to play around pre-made grouping, large pools, utilizing your burst, ramp up, especially when the key is a little bit higher, mobs live longer. Good mob control, amazing durability, one of the tankiest melee specializations out there. I love the fantasy of Unholy DK, with all the diseases that I just pill, and grips and like burst damage, and your goal is doing damage too, and mob control is just, I love it. But the sibling spec of Unholy Frost is slightly better than you, or I guess a little bit better than you, more than slightly. So you might not see as much representation in Mythic Plus, but in rating, I think they're going to be close to on par, or even Unholy getting better in some cases. Windwalker Monk got some buff this week, which is arguably something that they actually needed for a long time. They've got adjustments on behalf of their mastery, Rising Sun Kick, spinning crane kick as well. So overall, better single target, better AoE. So I now consider them way above average performance wise, with much better burst, which again, burst was never an issue for them, but now they got a better burst, better sustain. Defense is unchanged, but they are pretty good there. And fun factor, one of the most fun melees I've had a pleasure of testing on beta before expansions. Big W for Windwalker Monks. I think they're going to be a solid choice in the upcoming expansion. Fury Warrior received some minor nerfs last night due to their hotfixes. I believe some unintentional nerfs on behalf of their, or mostly damage pattern, I guess, especially for AoE. Other than that, rotation wise, pretty much is same as Dragonflight. Minor differences, I would say. Pretty easy to play. One of the most noob friendly specs in the game. Better survivability than Arms Warrior, and it's much easier than Arms as well. If you like spammy specs, go for Fury, you know. Enhanced Shaman. Wow, okay, that's a spec that we kind of reevaluated earlier this week, and we decided, you know what, felt like enhanced placement is a little bit on the lower side, so we kind of increased the value by 0.5. In both single target and AoE, which we concluded that in a dungeons where you don't really pull as big, enhance can actually be quite a great. But if you do decide to make a huge, enormous boost, then enhance doesn't really shine as much as other classes, you know. But once again, better survivability, better utility than Dragonflight, which is obviously big W. I love the gameplay of enhance, and quite honestly, there's a big room to min-max the spec. So if you like challenges, you might like to consider enhance. Next in line is going to be Havoc DH. Havoc DH did not get any changes this week, unfortunately. This specialization currently is one of the most unpleasant specs to play, at least for me, due to momentum, due to throw glaive in your rotation. I don't really like how it plays out, but Again, I can't lie about it. Strength wise, it's pretty solid. It does great single target. It does good AoE. Has great damage on demand. Utility is amazing, especially if you pair this with like a full caster comp due to the Chaos brand. Good mob control. Defensive wise, not on a stronger side, but then again, self-sustain, blur, and netherwalk are also part of your utility, which you can save your life in a dire situations. Feral Druid, no changes this week. Once again, Feral Druids did not get a change for the past 2.5 weeks to almost 3 weeks. But they are currently in a fantastic shape. Again, probably one of the stronger options for bearer of the Mark of the Wild. Good single target, quite competitive actually. Great crowd damage in AoE as well. Good AoE sustain one. Much slower version of Pharaoh compared to Dragonflight, so you have some time to react. Feel like sometimes you might be starved on energy, but probably due to the low secondary stats, which will be resolved down the line when you get more gear. Durability wise, never been an issue for Pharaoh. They're gonna be great there. Utility wise, once again, nothing changes, but you are fantastic there too. And playstyle and fun, I didn't really find it as fun per se, but you know, if somebody loves and mains Pharaoh, go for it. I think this season is gonna be much better than what they used to be for the past couple of seasons of last expansion. Demonology Lock, this is something that we didn't discuss last time. Truly, that's because they were bugged. Their main hero talents, Diabolus, were bugged out. However, this was resolved earlier this week, so now they are in a fantastic spot currently. Both single target AoE burst and sustained damage has been solid, way above average, I would say. This is gonna be paired with great utility, which is mostly unchanged. We already know Lock is quite tanky. Now, whether you're gonna play Affliction, Demo, or Destro, you are gonna be quite tanky there. So that's never been an issue so far, and I consider them slightly on the easier side to play. So again, if you're looking for range options, Demonology Lock might be an appealing option, especially if you love to have a lot of pets in it. Affliction Lock, the better option across all Lock specs currently. I am quite surprised to tell you this, but Affliction has survived the whole beta to be one of the better performing range specs, especially after the massive rework that has been done to them. Again, playstyle is one of the most fun, if not the most fun ranged across the whole Warcraft team preparation. At least on my side, when I tested it, it appeared very engaging. I love how it plays out. Very strong burst every minute, every 2 minutes. Much better single target now. For the past couple weeks, they've been getting buffs there. AoE never been an issue before. One thing I have with Affliction is sometimes feel like the whole conversation of like whether you want to refresh Agonist tags or wait for the Veiltain to reapply them, or manually wave Agonist to, you know, extend your dots. It's the only thing that I kind of don't like, so maybe they should buff Veiltain and make it like lesser of a cooldown. I don't know. Shit like that. It's a little bit annoying to be honest with you, but hopefully that will get some resolution in the future. Quality of life changes are needed here. Shadow Priest. Wow. Okay, so that spec got some buffs a while ago. Luckily this week they got nothing. Single target among the strongest right now, especially burst wise. Very strong prolonged burst. So this is a spec that's gonna climb much higher on the high keys and might not be as competitive on a lower level key. So if you're looking to play lower level keys, Shadow Priest might not be the one for you. But on a high level keys is doing absolutely fantastic. If you consider that, you know, Mage Priest combo with Evoker is still one of the best combos right now. Again, PI, Stamina buff, Mass Dispel, Disease Dispel, Vampiric Embrace is like nice off-healing abilities as well. Mind Suit as well could be quite useful for skipping mobs. So honestly, one of the better pickups currently as a range, but a lot better on high level keys compared to low to mid level keys too. Just because your burst is just so long, you need the high level keys. Frost Mage, no changes. This is one of my major ults that I'm gonna be planning to play. Fantastic performance across all key levels, very good front roll burst, very good sustained damage, extremely easy to play, strong to targets too, very mobile, one of the easiest, like the caster of the BM hunters in a way. So I love Frost Mage, very easy and simple. And again, you can play with no spike build or spike build, if you consider that as well. Utility wise, across the best, if not the best among all DPS specs right now. Durability is one of the tankiest, so nothing really bad I could say about Frost Mage. Top pick right now. Rose DK, one of the strongest melee currently in the War Within expansion. Surprisingly, they also survived the whole beta without getting any major nerfs or whatever. So they've been good for like a solid 2 months pretty much. Again, what could I say about Rose DK that hasn't already been said? Very strong offensive damage profile, especially burst orientated one. Good sustain, very good mob control, very tanky spec as well. Extremely fun to play. And it's not hard at all. So I would say overall a huge W for Rose DKs. They haven't really been that good in a long time. So cheers for that. That's some pomegranate juice. It's nasty. Anyway, Ele Shaman. Wow. Ele Shaman didn't get anything, but honestly, you can't really complain about Ele Shaman. AoE damage profile, especially if you consider 5, 6, 7, 8 mobs, just brutally good. Because you have major cooldowns pretty much every 1 minute, every pack. So you're destroying. How easy it is to play in AoE is just unbeatable. Chain lightning is into earthquakes, into tempest, where nothing too complicated. You are fantastic there. Single target a little bit lackluster. I would say a little bit. Like you're better sustained than burst in that regard, but you can't have it all, right? One of the best utilities in the game. Have a raid buff now. Better survivability. Very fun to play. Extremely easy to play. The only thing that you lack is just pretty much top tier single target. Next in line, Arcane Mage, one of the best ranged, if not the best ranged this season. Single target is deviously good, one of the best right now, which I'm very happy to say so. Very strong burst oriented AoE damage profile, especially between low count mobs. It's just brutal. The highest power damage in the game, the highest survivability in the game, one of the best utility in the game. Extremely fun to play. Have a very high ceiling of min maxing, so it's extremely hard spec to like min-max, etc. So overall, every single corner you see a W's on Arcane Mages. Last but not least, we're talking about Assassination Rogue. So they've got also some minor adjustments this week. I would say the hero talents got buffed by 1.5%-ish, give or take. Napkin math here. I will link the articles below with all the changes. Overall, the nice mob control of Assassination Rogue is going to bring them ahead. Iron Wire Girl silences are going to be very big in the upcoming expansion. There's a tons of dungeons where caster mobs are present every single pack, so that's going to help you a lot with mob control. On top of this, one of the highest AoEs in the game. ST's also not too bad. I would say way above average here across the better on behalf of melees currently. So one last thing, Assa Rogue performs way better on high keys than on low level keys, just because of the longer, I guess, a lot more health on mobs, so your ramp up is juicier. Last but not least, Augmentation Evoker. I've seen a lot of mixed opinions on behalf of Aug Evoker. I still sincerely believe this will be one of the best pickups for the upcoming expansion for mid to high level keys, just because it provides a safety for the whole group. Most of the time you don't deplete due to time, you deplete due to wipe, and that's because of the hard bosses, dangerous packs. Augmentation is the glue to that, because it makes the pack, it makes your group safer, it gives you more durability, makes the tank live longer, makes the heal better. Triple DPS might be better, might be faster, but it's most definitely not safer. Anyway guys, that concluded everything for the past couple of months. We've been doing this live on stream, highlights on Twitch, highlights on YouTube, sorry, live on Twitch. Hope you guys enjoyed me and enjoyed my presence, enjoyed my commentary, and again, thank you for being here, updating you every single week on Saturday. I will be continuing to maintain this spreadsheet along the line of any other changes. I expect more changes. Should there be anything major, I will make a video about this. If not, this spreadsheet will live forever until PTR Season 2, PTR Season 3, and hopefully beta for next expansion. Thank you for watching guys, my pleasure. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, much love, see you in game.